going to be on season 2 of RV Unplugged.
In fact, we're going to win.
But in order to win, we have to upgrade our battery system.
Hey, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy campers.
And after losing a combined weight of more than 200 pounds,
we realized we had so much more energy for activities.
Come along with us as we explore the great outdoors.
And join us for possibly our greatest adventure yet.
So we're going to be on season 2 of RV Unplugged.
Not just on it, we're in it to win it.
We are going to win. But guess what that means? That means that for 2 weeks, we have to boondock in Florida.
And I don't do so well without the air conditioning and all of the lights and like the fun things that make camping so awesome.
So here's the thing. We tried boondocking once. And it was kind of miserable because we're in Florida.
Mosquitoes.
And we couldn't run an air conditioner overnight because no generators overnight.
Yeah, sticky.
Are you going to be able to do this?
Not interested. Well, I'm going to be able to do this if you can give us enough power in Eleanor to keep the lights on and the AC on if needed.
Oh, more power. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to upgrade our battery system. I'm going to make sure that if it came down to power, we'll win. Like, I don't think anybody's going to be able to outpower what we have done to our RV. So we're going to have a series of videos. In this video, I'm going to go over everything that we have done to upgrade all of our battery system to make sure that we actually can win season 2 RV Unplugged.
Because we may not be the cutest and we may not be the smartest, but we're going to be the ones with the freshest hot shower.
So we'll go over everything in this video, everything that I've done to upgrade the battery system. Then we're going to have a couple more videos where I'm going to go over detailed step-by-step of how I upgraded it and also kind of go over why I chose the system that I chose. So as we said, the first time we went boondocking, it was a pretty miserable experience. I mean, it was a gorgeous campground, don't get me wrong, but we didn't have enough battery power. It was the end of September. We couldn't run our generator at night, so it was a little hot. So we were running fans, and by the morning, our battery was almost completely depleted. So we made the decision that we probably wouldn't go boondocking unless we upgraded our battery system. And as we've traveled around the country for our keto channel, visiting places like Arizona, Las Vegas, and Nevada, we saw some gorgeous BLM land that we would love to go camping on. So we have talked about upgrading our battery system for a while, but we just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So when Stacy from Today is Sunday invited us to be contestants on RV Unplugged, it was the perfect excuse to upgrade our battery system. Now, we installed a pretty unconventional system in Eleanor compared to what most RVers use, but this is a proven system. A lot of people install this type of battery and solar array. You just don't see it in RVs a lot. I did a lot of research and I designed an entire system similar to what a lot of other RVers use, where I was going to have like 8 12-volt 100 amp hour batteries, a Victron Multi-Plus, and a whole bunch of solar panels on the roof. But I started looking at how much that was going to cost. And in the end, by the time I bought all the wire and all the connections and the batteries and everything else, it's going to cost me somewhere around $12,000 to $14,000. So I continue to do more research. So I began researching what homesteaders use in houses where they're basically just using solar and battery, and many times they don't even have shore power to charge the batteries. And that's how I ended up with the system that we installed in Eleanor. So the system we installed in Eleanor is a 48-volt battery system, and it's using an all-in-one inverter, solar charge controller, and battery charger. Now, I do want to say this video series is partially sponsored by Signature Solar. After I designed this system the way I wanted, using 48-volt batteries and using an all-in-one inverter, I started researching to find the best possible batteries on the market and also what the best inverter is. I began going through Signature Solar's website trying to narrow down which 48-volt system I wanted to use, and I narrowed it down to the EG4 system. Now, Signature Solar actually has a lot of different brands, not just the EG4. They sell things like GrowWatt, Victron, and a lot of other brands. The other thing that's nice about Signature Solar is they sell batteries, inverters, all kinds of connectors, pretty much anything you need for your battery or solar setup. After deciding we were going to purchase all the components for our battery setup from Signature Solar, I reached out to them and asked them if they would partially sponsor this video series. So Signature Solar did give us a small discount on everything that we've installed here in Eleanor. However, they do not have any say in how we produce the video, the content of it, and they don't get to look at the video ahead of time. Now, I will leave a link for Signature Solar down below in the description box, along with a list of everything that we purchased from them to finish this battery installation. Now, full disclosure, if you use that link, it does benefit our channel. We really appreciate Signature Solar for sponsoring this video series, and we appreciate you for supporting the sponsors who support two crazy campers. Now, as I said, we have a 48-volt battery system with an all-in-one inverter. And I'll get more into why I actually decided to go with this system over a traditional RV setup in the actual install videos. But to sum it up, it really comes down to the cost of the system, how much space it was going to take up in the RV, and also the efficiency of the entire system. For the batteries, we have three 48-volt 100 amp hour batteries with a nominal voltage of 51.2, giving us 15,360 watt hours of battery power. On the roof, we have 1,600 watts of solar, and then we have the all-in-one inverter. Now, I realize this system is definitely overboard. Originally, I was only going to put in 2 batteries, giving me just over 10,000 watt hours of battery, which probably would have been more than enough for what we need. However, I began pricing everything out, and it turned out that it was the same shipping whether I got 1 battery, 2 batteries, or 3 batteries. So we decided to bite the bullet and make sure we put enough battery power in here so that we could win RV Unplugged. Now, a little disclaimer here. I am not an electrician, although my son is an electrician. This video series is not designed to teach you exactly how to do it and be a full installation guide. I'm merely showing you everything that we have in our system as well as how we actually did the install. If you have any fear of electricity or if you don't know what you're doing, please make sure you consult a licensed electrician to help you out. So on the roof, we have 8 solar panels. Each solar panel is 200 watts and 24 volts. Now, the way I've set it up is we have 2 4-panel series. So we have 4 in one series, 4 in another series, and then those are wired together in parallel. That's giving me enough voltage for my system and also plenty of amps. So I used Y connectors and 1-foot extension cables to go from panel to panel. I then have both series connected with another Y connector, and then this wire goes down through the bedroom in our RV to our pass-through storage. In the pass-through on the driver's side, I have a solar array disconnect switch, which is right here. And this allows me to turn on and off the solar panels, especially because there is a lot of electricity running from the solar panels down into the solar charge controller. Now, over here on the passenger side of our pass-through is our main inverter. This is an EG4 3000, and this is the hub for everything. This is an inverter, a battery charger, and a solar charge controller. It's an all-in-one unit, but this unit does require a 48-volt system. It's really nice because you can control everything from this screen right here. You can see everything that's going on with your batteries. You can see how it's charging, how the solar is going, all of the amps, all of the volts that are coming into it. The wiring, as I said, we'll go into in more detail in the installation. So these 2 wires are running in from our solar panels, and they go into the inverter and charge controller. And then we have our wires running from here into our battery bank, which is right behind this wall. And then down here we have our wire that's feeding in from our shore power and then going back to our circuit breaker box. So I have our batteries installed underneath the bed, and this is a heavy mattress. This is the Aurora Luxe from RVmattress.com. So because it's so heavy, to make it easier to get under the bed, I changed out these suspension arms, and we have a video on how I did that. But these are the 3 batteries that I have. And again, they are from Signature Solar. These are the EG4 LL model. Now, there's no difference between the LL model and the lower model as far as battery power. It comes down to features. For example, the LL model has this screen on it so that you can see what's going on with the batteries. Also, these have fire arresters in them, and I felt for the extra $100 or $200, it was worth it to have fire arresters built inside of the batteries. But overall, they're the same battery. So here's what is on this battery. It does have a disconnect switch right here. In addition, it has an on-off for the BMS, and it also has indicators and alarms. So each one of these batteries is 48 volts, 100 amp hours with a nominal voltage of 51.2. That means that each battery is giving us 5,120 watt hours. And since we have 3 of them tied together, that is 15,360 watt hours. Now, each one of our batteries is feeding into a bus bar. We're not going from battery to battery to battery. We're going from battery to bus bar, and then battery to bus bar. From there, our bus bars feed everything else. So we'll start off with our negative bus bar. Everything feeds into the negative bus bar. We have one cable from the negative bus bar. That's this one right here. This is feeding up into our Victron SmartShunt, so we can monitor everything either via Bluetooth or via the screen up in the front of the RV. We also do have a Cerbo-S GX, and that's just so I can have a nicer screen, even though a lot of the features on the screen are not available since I'm not using a lot of Victron items. Our positive feeds into this T-fuse, and then that runs out to the inverter and charger. Now, because we're running a 48 volt battery bank, but our RV is a 12 volt system, we need to have some type of converter. So this is the Victron isolated DC to DC converter. It is a 48 to 12 volt system with 30 amps. The positive is feeding in from the positive bus bar, and the negative is feeding in after the SmartShunt. And then you can actually adjust your voltage right on here. Over here, I installed a Raspberry Pi so that I could monitor the entire system with a solar connection app. I like it much better than what comes with the actual inverter. And over here, I added an extra 12 volt panel just so that if I want to run some 12 volt up here on this side of the rig, I can go right into here instead of running wires all the way back to the main box underneath our television. So that's our entire electrical system and the way I have everything set up. Now, like I said, we're going to actually have separate videos on the installation, and I've broken it up into another 3 videos. The first one is going to be on the inverter, and I'm going to go over in that video why I chose this inverter, what the difference between this and some of the other ones are, and then also how I actually installed it. We'll have a separate one on the batteries, why I chose those batteries, what the difference between them and some of the other batteries are, and then again, the installation of them. And then the third video will be going over basically the solar panel. That'll be a kind of short video. We don't have any footage of us actually installing the solar panels because when we had our roof problem and had to have our roof redone from Flex Armor, they actually mounted all of the brackets for our solar panels. So the installation for me was literally just putting them up on the roof and then wiring them. So I'll go over that, but we don't have any footage of the brackets actually being screwed in, and I don't even have any footage of me like handing them up onto the roof because my son just handed them to me. But we'll kind of go over the entire system. And then we're going to try to put together a 4th one where we actually show you how much power different appliances draw out of it and how much time we're getting out of it. Overall though, this system is monstrous. We have a lot of power on board, and we really have had a lot of power. I mean, we went to the Florida RV Super Show. We disconnected from the house on Tuesday morning, and we actually still have not plugged back in. We went through the whole Tampa RV show. We've come back home. The RV's been sitting in the front of our house for another few days, and it hasn't been plugged in. We've been running the air conditioner. We've been vacuuming, like doing all kinds of things. Like when we were at the RV show, we were microwaving. Rachel was running a hairdryer, and we never ever dropped below about 80% battery. And even right now, we're sitting at somewhere around 95% battery, and it's late in the evening. So definitely, I'm not going to have any concerns when it comes to battery power. Now, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you hit that bell button so that you're notified when the other videos on this installation goes live. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer any questions you have. Please remember, though, I am not an electrician. So if you're afraid of electricity or if you don't know what you're doing, make sure you contact an electrician to help you out with the installation. Now, I do want to thank once again Signature Solar for partially sponsoring this video, and I will leave a link for them down below if you need to get any solar stuff, batteries, inverters. They have a lot of different brands, not just the ones that we installed. So I'll do my best to get part 2 of this series, which is going to be the inverter install, up within a couple of days of releasing this video, and then we will follow that up with the actual battery installation. Now, once again, make sure you hit that like button on this video. It really does help build the channel, but more importantly, it lets us know what kind of videos you guys are looking to see. And also make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell button so that you are notified when we upload new videos. And until next time, happy camping.